everybody, welcome to our fabulous new flower of the month, and it is beautiful. We've now got our cosmos. Now, I know we're a little bit delayed in the recording, but we did say we would do it for you, and we're in the new studio. How wonderful is this? All new gadgets and things to play with, but the crafting is still the same, and we're hoping that we can give you inspiration and education along the way. Now, this cosmos is just lovely. You do get additional colorways as well with it, but it's what you can actually do with it to bring it to life. Now, these are the boards, and I'm just going to ask Andrew if he wants me to actually, are you overhead with this one? Overhead. There we go. That just means that there's a camera up in the ceiling for those of you that haven't watched us before. There, isn't that lovely? So this is your main die. So you've got your outside layer and your big. So this is a really big bloom. Isn't it fabulous? But I love how detailed these dies are. Look at how thin and narrow, very elegant stem on the cosmos. I don't really know how they actually hold the bloom, the flower head up, but they do. And the movement we've given you as well in this is beautiful. Then moving on, whoops, upside down. This is then the Builder Bouquet. That one was the over the edge, and that's the larger one. Now, for those of you that are the collectibles of the flower of the month, we always give you a formula. So you always get the larger die, which is the over the edge, but then you also get the Builder Bouquet version. Now, the Builder Bouquet version are the little pieces. It's the flower head, the leaf, the bud, and we try and give you movement within the dies as well. So we've changed the orientation of the die so it goes a little bit over. So you build movement into your actual projects. You've got your leaves that we've taken in here as well. So again, you can build up your foliage, because your foliage is actually really, really important when you're working with florals, because without it, I watched a documentary once that the bees and the insects wouldn't really see the flowers because it would all just be one mass of colour, and the backdrop is the green. So the green makes all the other colour pop. So then you get that, so you can build as many bouquets as you like, and then we give you the smaller one. Now let me just go back to the big one. As you can see here, we've swapped the orientation round, okay? So the larger one comes up and sweeps over to the right. The smaller one comes up and sweeps over to the left. So it changes and makes for much more versatility for creating your projects. And also being able to build with these as well, because you've got that really big bloom, but then you've got a much softer small one, because at the end of the day, you do have buds, which you get, and they all start as small flowers, don't they? New shoots, and the greenery comes. So you can really build a realistic bouquet. So that is the collection. I just love this. You have got additional colourways, which are beautiful, that you can find on the website. Now, I've gone with something that's quite traditional. You may not have seen me make something like this before. I've gone for a frame like this, and it's with tattered lace. We've gone tattered lace S because because this one is very elegant, I've chosen the frame to go with how elegant the die is, because it's really subtle. Look how thin and fine that is. And I've kind of mirrored that with what I've chosen here. And then we've got the nested ones as well. So this is from the tattered lace range. So first of all, I've got my card, and I'm just going to measure to make sure. Yeah, it's roughly 8 by 8. I've gone with that. Then I've done a green mat. Now, because this is a narrow one, to take up the space on this side to fill out the square, I've used a white piece of card on here as well, okay? So that is the basic, or the background of the card. So that's where I'm going to go first. I'm actually going to finish this one off and build it up. Now, as always, you'll see me using lots of different mediums. I'll go from wet glue through to my foam pads, my 3D glue gel, which is an absolute favourite of mine. So first of all, I'm then going to build up this. Now, how fine this is, I'm going to put a little bit of glue down. Now, I have pinched We've got our lovely Sarah from Funky Fossil that joins us, and the lovely Jamie. We've got lots of newcomers, and I'm picking up, obviously, this new community. So many hints and tips. It's just so happened this one I've left at my desk. So the lovely Jamie actually has, you know, the ink dauber, squeezes his glue out and uses the ink dauber to put onto the back of anything that's fine and delicate, which is just the best top tip. So pop that on there like so. Because I've used wet glue, just give me a second to line it up. I'm just lifting it up so I can get that a little bit more centralised. There we go. So that is on there. Now I've used the foam tape. So we've gone for a different medium. Okay, I could go with the wet, either wet glue or the 3D glue gel. I haven't taken everything off because all the backing paper, because I don't really need to. It's like when you do the middle, you don't really, it's just there to stop it getting squashed. It doesn't actually hold anything else in place. And then finally, I've got my foam tabs on the back. Again, I don't need to remove all of them. The top two I'm going to leave in place. And this time I'm going to use my tweezers to actually hold this so I can line it up properly. Because I want it to cover over that green edge and be straight like that. I'm hoping I've got it straight. There we go. Oh, that was a good guess. I didn't realise at the bottom, but we're okay. We're okay. Now, at this stage, you can start going to town decorating on this side and then put your sentiment on here. So again, another reason why I've gone with something like this, because we see the smaller sentiments, don't we, that just say happy birthday. When you create a project or a card like this, you can actually put a full verse on the front of here if you wanted to, because you've got a lot of open space and there's a lot of white space. Now, I do often say, please, 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 don't be scared of white space. Don't be worried about it, because a lot of people shy away from it and say, no, I don't like the white space. I like everything just to be like this. But it gives you lots more choices and a lot more options of where to go when you're making a project. So first of all, I'm going to bring in, now you don't have to have one of these mats or the ball tools. It's just that sometimes I do find it makes my life a little bit easier. And I can shape it with my fingers or the back of my scissors, but this does give you a smoother effect, okay? So I've shaped it one way and I've gone back the other way to bring the petals up. Now, I'm going to snip off this because I want a little bit of decoupage going off, but that I need. So I'm going to trim down the stem. Nothing ever goes to waste. And this time, I'm going to shape from the back, just as I did before. And when I'm shaping on something like this, I don't hold my ball tool down here and press on. Because one, you're going to break the pips. When I'm actually using my ball tool, I try and hold it at this end because I can't add lots and lots of pressure. It's just the right amount of pressure. Just like sometimes when you're adding shading, when you're colouring with a pencil, if you add shading, you'll hold your pencil down here, you can press on and it's going to be really dark. If you hold your pencil further away, you can't actually apply a lot of pressure. So it's a lot softer blend and it's a lot softer for me to actually create shape. So I'm going to turn that over, and this time I want to shape these petals. So firstly, I've gone in one direction and then I've come back and shaped these, but not all of them. I've still got a lot of shape going on. So if I go like that, you can see just how much shape I've actually put into that. There's quite a lot of detail going on. So now I can add my foam to the back of this. So a little bit of foam, take the backing off when I can get hold of it. Pop that on there, and that is my decoupage layer to the flower head. And when you're doing your decoupage, it's just like a jigsaw puzzle. One piece fits back over the top of the other. Now I have lots of other pieces and elements, but some of these I want to snip down again. But the greenery I am keeping. And again, I have extra pieces. I need a whole one. I want to take a piece away, and then I need a whole one. Take that away. In fact, I need 1, 2, 3. And now we can start building. And again, add in a little bit of shape using my ball tool. And again, not too much. Working from the back, flip that over, and you can do quite a few all in one go. And sometimes a nice circular motion works really well as well. And they go with each individual petal to add in the shape like this, or just a circular motion. Can you see how much that's actually raised that flower? Okay. So on this one, I've been quite gentle. And then when I go into the middle, let me show you that again, because it actually is quite... So I'm just adding a little bit of dimension on the petals. As soon as I go into the middle, I'm not just going to go and force that down. If I rotate like that, can you see how much those petals actually lift up for me? Which is brilliant. Now, if I press that down the other way, that brings a lot of shape back into those petals for me, which is exactly what I want. So let me speed up a little bit into this. A little bit more shape on those. So I've got 1, 2, my large one, 1, 2. That is my flower head. And this, I have to work in a pattern and see, I lay everything out while I'm working, because that way it's easier for me to see where to go next. So then that is that one. And on these, I've changed the orientation again. So I've worked from the front and then gone from the back. And then I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to work from the front. So by changing the way you shape the flowers, also adds different movement and texture to to your actual florals that you're working with. Those are all extras to one side. I've got my greenery. Yeah, I've done all of these. So now I need to pop my tape on the back of all of these with not those scissors. Those are my snippy scissors. Like so. So a little bit of tape on the back. And then we can build the composition. Now, whether that is that I'm building my decoupage pieces, and I'm going to end up building on the actual flower heads themselves. But remember, I've got that greenery as well that I'm going to tuck in. So let me flip that one over. That is going there. And then I'm also going to bring in the other medium. I'm going to use my wet glue on the stems, okay, to secure everything in place. So pop that on there, that one on there. So I've used tape on the back of all the flower heads. I've got my wet glue ready, and I'm just going to pop a bit out on a plastic bag rather than get the new counters. And if I don't want to get shouted at by Andrew, getting them counters mucky. So that's on there. Put my lid on because I'm really good about forgetting that. Now we can start building the composition. Now, first of all, I want to go in with the big flower head. And then I'm only going to put a little bit of glue on that piece there. Tap it off, bring it over, and I'm going to overlap it in the middle, okay? And then using my tweezers, hold that down. When you're working with wet glue, please give it time to take. Wet glue isn't one of those things like it is with tape where you touch it down and it sticks instantly. That's not how it works. So then take the backing off of all the others. Okay. I'm just going to dip that end in again in the wet glue. And we can now start interlinking the other florals. And again, the ones with the stems I'm putting down first. So that one is here. I'm going to bring that bud forward. Okay, stick that down. This again is a new flower on here. On here. Oops. I am going to add a little bit of greenery on there as well. So now, again, Again, with all of these, it's lovely. Like I said, I'm not sticking all of these bases down. Okay, I need the movement. I've not put glue on the back of all of this. All this is free. Okay, pop that down again. Do as I'm saying rather than actually do what I'm telling you, that how I work it. So that one is a decoupage piece on there. This one is a decoupage piece on here, and this one I'm going to put into the background. Okay, that's going to slide in underneath and over the top in there. And then remember, we've got the pieces we've chopped off and the greenery, because when you're working with florals, of course, you're going to get extra shoots, leaves and things like that. And I'm going to bend it. I just need to hold it in place and be patient. Okay. And then bring in all these fabulous leaves, and I've got some little new shoots as well. So a little bit of glue. I'll lift that up and intertwine it on there. And then I've got a new bud. So slide that on that piece. Fill that in. I've got a bud. Again, add that in here, like so. A little bit more greenery to the back of that leaf, that flower, should I say, the petal. So that's the right word I was looking for. Pop that there. This one, slide in and under, like so. Then finally, my last little bud, I'm going to join up there. And then I do have, I've got a few little bits of greenery, but I don't really need all of those. But I have got my bow. Now I can add my bow at the top, or I can add it in down at the bottom. It's entirely, or I can actually have it just there. So that's where I'm going to go, because my sentiment is going to go across here as and when I choose that I want to put one on. I'm going to go with wet glue, because this is what actually Pinflair was actually made for, was sticking fabric. Do I go there? Yes, I do. So that is our card complete. Something a little bit different this time, mixing in, because as always I do actually get asked, messaged should I say, what 2 red robins would I use, what 2 red robins shapes would I use, etc. However, you don't actually need 2 red robins. You can use anything that's already in your kit, and you can be recreating something just like this. So thank you again for joining me. That was our 2 red robins new flower of the month launch for our die collection. As always, on our YouTube, please subscribe, click like and share, and that little bell. Make sure you're clicking the one that's fully coloured in, and then you'll get all the notifications, inspiration and education that we bring to you here from all of the team at Highlight Crafts. And I'll see you all again real soon. Bye.
If you would like to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications on all our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.